Hello students. It was another interesting week on the Water and Climate MOOC. We've seen the topics of river engineering, coastal engineering and urban engineering. Some of you raised some questions about the difference between hard and soft solutions. We'll be visiting Professor Marcel Steve, who will tell us something about these solutions.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Yes.
Martijn, how are you?
I'm fine. I have another question.
Good.
Some of the students raised some questions about the difference between hard and soft interventions. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, sure. You have to realize that we chose this two-part identification because of simplicity. But you have to realize that in reality we're talking about a whole range of more hard interventions towards very soft interventions. And this can range from, say, monolithic structures to berm type of breakwaters that are allowed to deform under the action of waves, to shingle beaches, to sandy beaches, and even to very fine sediment beaches. And we're inclined to really think, when we talk about soft engineering, we're inclined to think that we make as much use as possible of these naturally occurring in the system materials, but that hybrid solutions may often be necessary, for instance, because we lack space for the whole system to breathe under all type of events.
All right, thank you for your answer.
Welcome.
During the lectures, we talked about the concept of coastal squeeze. Could you perhaps give us an example of this?
Yeah, sure. Maybe a nice example is, and a recent example is what is occurring with the mangrove in the Mekong Delta in Vietnam. What we see there is two major points. One is that human occupation of the coastal zone means in the Mekong Delta that primary or secondary dikes are positioned so close to the shoreline that the mangrove forest in front of it has not enough space to absorb extreme events and to go into a cyclic rejuvenation process. And that means that we get for instance, situations like this, where mangrove are not able to survive because of human occupation. However, there's an even larger effect noticeable, quite alarming, over the last 5 years, that is at some parts quite away from the mouth of the Mekong River estuaries. There is an alarmous erosion going on, and we've been looking into this in quite some detail lately, and the only explanation that we find is that probably both the source of sediment that is necessary to compensate for relative sea level rise in those regions has decreased, but also the accommodation space, which is the space that we need to fill because of relative sea level rise. So the space in the coastal area, the mangrove itself, and also the foreshore, that space is becoming larger because of groundwater extraction and drainage. What happens is that the relative sea level rise, say, a decade ago was maybe only something like 2 to 3 millimeters, something like this. But now we can see, even if you just drive through the delta, you can see at bridge road transitions that you observe something like 1 to 2 centimeters per year in subsidence, which is this much. And that means that not only the source has gone down, but also the sink has become larger. And so that areas away from where the sediment still is are simply not able to follow sea level rise. And there we have erosion rates which are unprecedented, something like 10 meters per year. And this is a problem that I'm sure we're not only facing in the Mekong.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. I hope my answers have been of use for you. And listen, look, we're very open to any of your suggestions that you may have on topics that you feel need more treatment. If you have an issue in your own environment or in your own country or region that you would want to reflect upon with us and maybe with your fellow students, again, we're very open to it. Make use of this platform, and I hope that we get it as lively as possible. Good luck. Speak to you next time.